Morning and welcome back to DR Sports for another edition of Good Morning Qatar with myself, Flex, and AGT. I'm with myself, Flex. Keep that in, actually. It was a mistake. Obviously, I'm not Flex. This is Flex. I'm AGT.
He fully did just do that. I didn't even realise, you know what? I didn't realise
that means we're both tired if you didn't realise.
I actually didn't realise. I was like, what's he talking
Keep
about?
it in, if anything. Brilliant. How are you, mate?
Good. I'm good. It feels good to be Alex. Another day down, man. I was saying just before we started filming, what day is it? How many days we've been out?
I think it's day 10.
What's the crack?
Us.
We made it day 10.
Yeah, man.
I made it match day 9 for myself. Have you been to more than that or not? No, have you been?
Probably 9 or 10. Yeah.
Not much in it. Nine or 10 games in. And we are at the point where it's going down to, well, not in all the groups, but in some of the groups we can see what the final day is going to look like. And setting up some tasty ties, man, and some amazing games yesterday as well.
For sure, and in some of the other groups, it's going right down to the wire. You can't really call it, can you? Anything could happen, really. So, with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to DR Sports if you haven't already. Yesterday, Japan 0, Costa Rica 1. A massive shock, really.
We didn't see that coming, did we?
Japan's first game, and Costa Rica, fair play to them, man.
Big win, man.
Massive win. For the country. 81 minutes. Keisha Fuller scores. The winner. Belgium 0, Morocco 2. You were at this game.
Yes.
The noise, the fanfare that surrounded Morocco pushed their players over the line yesterday.
I thought that the Saudi-Argentina game was the pinnacle, and it was, big up my Saudis, but what was the difference maker yesterday was the fact that 96 to 7%
precise.
Was, very precise, was Moroccan. I think in the Saudi game you had the opposite end was Argentina, and kind of like the Mexico Argentina game. But the Moroccan one was like, okay, cool. Like this is our great game, and it was amazing scenes.
And this was off the back of a very candid Kevin De Bruyne, basically saying that they're too old, they're too slow, really, to even win the World Cup. I mean, is that the best thing to say when you're the country's best player and you kind of shitting on the hopes and dreams of the country? I don't know.
You could argue maybe not, but actually, I mean, it's probably easier for me to say it as I'm not Belgian. I find it quite refreshing. Saying what we all know, the same way how we got the man of the match the other day, and he's like, how have I got this? It's probably just because of the name. Yeah. Me personally, I like when footballers ditch that whole media act and just say things as they are. And I just look at Belgium like gone off bread. Oof. I do. They're just
bit of mould.
Yeah, just like, you know, when the green bit starts coming.
Oh yeah. You don't want to eat that bread.
They're just stale, man. And you know, all they've got is a De Bruyne who, when he's not around top draw, he's not always got it in him to pull you out of it. He still needs players around him, and they just don't have that.
They had to wheel out Lukaku, the injured Lukaku, to try and get something from the game. Roman Saiss, the Wolves player, and Zakaria Aboukal scoring the winners very late on, actually, and giving Morocco a historic, amazing moment, really, to witness.
It was like their third win in the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's true, isn't it? I was like, brah. It's a big moment, man. And they had a goal disallowed before that. They were just on them. They just thoroughly deserved it.
Yeah.
Thoroughly deserved it.
And Hazard wasn't even the best Hazard, or isn't the best Hazard anymore. And there's 3 of them. It's not even the second best.
I thought, Jason will tell you, when we got in there, I just thought Eden Hazard wasn't playing. I thought it was his brother. And I looked on the bench. I was like, Eden Hazard must be injured again. Like he's not. Just going look at his injuries again. And he started like the way he turns. And I was like, Jason does move a lot like his brother. He does look like Eden Hazard the way he moves, though, isn't it? And then Jason goes, "You sure that isn't actually him, though?" It was him. But you're right. He was hooked off. Null and void, man. Null and void.
Croatia 4, Canada 1. I was at this game with Vuj last night. Croatia just showing their experience and the quality, which I think always shines through. They're not the most athletic team, they're not the youngest team, and Canada had a great start, but as I said, that drawback on where they've been in tournaments and how they've done in tournaments so far just shines through, and they end up winning very convincingly, and the goals were really, really high quality as well from Croatia.
Yeah, they're a team that you don't want to, even back to 4 years ago when we had to face them in the semis, you don't really want to have to face them when it matters. You really don't. They've got a lot of experienced players who I'd probably say this one would be their last they're teetering on the edge of, are they a little bit past it? But they showed yesterday, I know it was against Canada, but it showed yesterday there's levels to Perisic, Kovacic, Modric, players like this.
And the experience that these guys have got, the trophies that these guys have won, just shines through in the end. And also Spain-Germany. I don't think really many people gave Germany a chance after them losing their first game and Spain so convincingly winning their first game. But pretty fair in the end.
Yeah, it's a really good game, man. I did give Germany that, you can't completely write them off, although I thought that Spain would win the game and send them packing. But I think I said it on another show I did. I was like, but you still can't completely write them off because it's still Germany. And I think they showed a little bit of that. We're still Germany. Don't just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To hang on in there. And there's a game that could have gone either way. A game that was really evenly contested. But to be staring down the barrel of World Cup exit, to find something like they did, I think shows great mentality. And you know what? If they go through in this manner, I was saying to someone else, this is like, that's the thing that can actually galvanise you for the group stages. Doesn't matter how you make the group stages, but if you make it in dramatic fashion, it kind of gives you that wake-up call and that momentum that actually a team that maybe strolled through the groups easy with a game to spare might not have. So if they go through, mate, watch out Germany in the tournament, you know.
Yeah,
I think.
Play Costa Rica in their final game, but that's a must-win. No more slip-ups for Germany
they must
allowed,
win that.
Otherwise they are home, back to the Autobahn.
Yes.
Right, today, Cameroon versus Serbia. Again, a massive game. Brazil, Switzerland. South Korea, Ghana, and Portugal versus Uruguay. Let's see what Abby and Lee have gone for back home in the daily shootout from Who Knows Wins. Minimum £2,000 up for grabs here. Abby has gone for a big Serbia win, which I'm sure Vuj will be very happy with. That. So is Lee, actually. They've both gone for a technically away win. South Korea versus Ghana. Abby gone for a South Korea win. Lee gone for a Ghana win. So they've
that's Lee not wanting to be anywhere near Son, and Abby wanting Son to win.
I think there's the home clubs at heart.
And Partey, yeah, exactly.
Brazil against Switzerland, both have respectively gone for a Brazil win. And Portugal versus Uruguay, Abby's gone for a draw. Meanwhile, Lee has gone for a Portugal win. Even though in the first game, they weren't the greatest, were they, Portugal? So
no,
they're going to have to, performance-wise anyway, obviously they won, but performance-wise they're going to have to step it up a little bit. If you do want to get involved and try and beat the guys from back home, use the QR code on screen now, or use the link in the description. We've got a couple of ways for you to get involved. Big money to be won, but only little money that you need to put in, and today's daily shootout is £2,000. So make sure you get involved. You don't even have to get all of these right, just get them close to as many right as possible. So try and beat the guys from back home with our daily shootout on Who Knows Wins here on DR Sports. Cameroon versus Serbia, it's the kind of game that is going to be a bit of a struggle if you don't really get hold of the game early on. We saw Serbia against Brazil the other night. The first half was a real fight.
It's a good fight, yeah.
But Serbia do have some quality, so it's the kind of game that, like I said, man, if you can get hold of it, get control of it, you can look to maybe win it. But Serbia have lost 8 of the last 10 World Cup games as an independent nation. The highest loss percentage of any side to have played at least 10 games in the competition. But then if you're Serbia looking at Cameroon, they're averaging just 0.8 goals per game at the World Cup, 18 goals in 24 games. The lowest goals per game ratio of any nation to play at least 20 games in the competition. They failed to score in 5 of their last 8.
Damning stats. damning stats. But then I feel like with the Opta stats, there's damning stats for both parties usually, and some positive ones for both parties sometimes. But I just think, like you said, they've got to get hold of the game. I think you don't want to get into a fight with Serbia, and actually vice versa. Actually, Cameroon, you don't want to get into a fight with them. And 3 points in the context of that group is massive in terms of steps for qualification as well, with how close it is. So I think Serbia get it done, I think Serbia get it done. I do. Yeah,
well, this fact helps that notion in the fact that Cameroon have lost the last 8 at a World Cup in 2002, 10, 14 and now 22. But Eric Choupo-Moting, the player that has one of the best agents in the game, you'd have to say, it was the only Cameroon player to have more than one effort on goal in their 1-0 defeat to Switzerland. He had 2 shots with the forward now failing to score in all 6 games at the World Cup and with all 12 efforts on goal. No player has made more tackles in the opening round of the matches than Nikola Milenkovic for Serbia, and I was at that game. As I said, the tackles were flying in. It was a big dogfight.
And Cameroon played well as well in certain bits.
Yeah,
like they could have scored. You know.
Little prediction on that one. It's the early kick-off today.
Serbia 2, Cameroon 1.
Okay, you're going for a slim win. Do you know what? Ooh, we haven't really seen. That was why it was refreshing yesterday to see 3 first half goals. But I want to see some more first half goals.
Yeah, you don't really get it a lot.
So I'm going to go with a very slim 1-0 Serbia win.
Tight.
Maybe that's because I was with Vuj last night and he wants Serbia desperately to win. Maybe it isn't. But yeah, a little Serbia win. Let us know in the comments what you think. Play along at home in the prediction battle as well, like I said. Brazil versus Switzerland. Both encounters, sorry, just get my facts back up. Both previous meetings have ended in a draw. No side Brazil have faced more at the competition without winning is the Swiss.
That's
2 versus Portugal and Hungary. Yeah. Brazil unbeaten in the last 16 group games in the World Cup. No side has ever gone 17 without defeat in the group stages of the competition before. So that's a very good stat they can lean on here in the group stages.
Switzerland, Brazil. Brazil look really strong. Obviously, they've got a wealth of talent. You know, flexing their muscles, man, with the subs they were bringing in. And if you look at Richarlison, you know, I know he had some wild comments, and he's a polarising character, isn't it? He's either someone that you can't stand,
like me,
which you probably can't as a Liverpool fan, and actually some other people just don't like him, or there's like something about him where you are drawn to that type of character. I think I respect that actually he's got a lot of ability. I think for all the theatrics and the stuff that he does that winds people up, the kid's got ability, man. Especially at international level as well. And while people question why he starts and this, that, and the other, surely there must be better players than him up front. You know, Gabriel Jesus or Rodrigo or other players. You know, put Neymar through the middle instead. He justifies why he starts, and he's up there for goal of the tournament.
Oh,
you know,
for sure.
Already.
For sure, it's a great finish.
You know, and look, you cannot compare him to R9. Nobody.
Please don't in the comments either, by the way. Don't get involved in broad in that debate.
No, the only way you can compare him to R9 is the fact that he's now at a world tournament, a major tournament, where he's the striker. But I think he's got a big say in games, man. I really do, especially for Brazil.
Speaking of Richarlison and the number 9, he's got 9 goals in his last 7 appearances in all competitions for Brazil, which kind of shows you why he's in.
Can't speak on his name.
Netting a brace on his World Cup debut. Since his debut in the national side in 2018, he scored more goals for Brazil than any other player. 19 in total. That's a very
Neymar's the you know, I know sometimes, you know, Brazil fans are a little bit horrible, whatever, but Neymar's the poster boy, yeah. He's not putting up.
He's the one on all the SIM card adverts that we're seeing out here. You know,
but with that team that's absolutely stacked, Richarlison's numbers speak for themselves, man. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Xherdan Shaqiri has been involved in 12 of his last 12 goals in his last 16 appearances at major tournaments. He got an assist the other night as well. 8 goals, 4 assists. And if he gets an appearance in this game, it will see Shaqiri become the Swiss player with the most appearances at the World Cup, alongside Valron Benrahma and Stefan Lichtsteiner.
Oh, Benrahma,
yeah. Former Arsenal player, Lichtsteiner, wasn't he? Very briefly.
Yeah.
But
very briefly.
Slowly but surely becoming a Swiss legend, despite his ties to, obviously, his other country that he was born in as well.
Yeah.
I know there's been controversy with him and Xhaka as well in the past, but he really is putting numbers on the board. And again, he's getting on in terms of age-wise, but I saw this quality at Liverpool in periods. But yeah, what a guy for them.
He's a player.
Come clutch.
You know, we can deliver. And again, I like players who can back up their talk with the stats there. You know, at the major tournaments, he's killing it for Switzerland. It's as simple as that. There's no other argument to be had. It kind of kills the discussion, really. The guy delivers on the world stage. He delivers when his country needs it, with goal involvements, goals, assists, etc., etc. So this is no different, and he's already done it in the first game.
Some left foot on him as well, by the way.
Yeah, when he's ready to, you let him cut inside, you know, unopposed or uncontested, he can find the far corner. you know, and he's got a good delivery. He can get at players. He's a clever player. I agree with you. We saw it in spells at Liverpool. It wasn't quite.
Only because he didn't play every game, but when he did play, I mean,
he managed to affect the game.
I'm thinking back to the 4-0 against Barcelona at Anfield. He gets 2 assists.
He's really good in that
So
game,
without him on that night, who knows where we would have been.
There you go.
We mentioned Neymar. No player has been fouled more times in this competition than him, at least 11 more times than any other player, 53 times since 2014. Won 9 fouls against Serbia last time out, and of course that was the game where he received that nasty ankle injury, which has been iced up, been very heavily documented since it happened.
Yeah.
Do you think he plays?
Nah.
I mean, we know he might not play in the group stages, but do you think that they would be worth bringing him back if he's not 100%, if they do qualify later on?
Yeah, because it's Neymar. Because he's fantastic. So, yeah, he'll be back in. He'll be back in, I'm sure, at some point in the tournament.
Saw Steve-O the Madman put up a picture of his ankle, and he's saying there's no way he's playing. His ankle looks like my auntie's.
Yeah, exactly. He ain't playing the rest of his group stages.
Well, that one is at Stadium 974 in Doha. That's a very interesting looking stadium, and hopefully an interesting game to match it to. Korea versus Ghana. Now this one is going to be a very fiercely contested game. Both teams need the points. This is the first meeting between them two since a friendly in 2014, with Jordan Ayew netting a hat-trick in a 4-0 win. Korea have scored exactly twice in each of the last 3 World Cup games with African nations, beating Togo in 2006, drawing 2-2 with Nigeria in 2010, and losing 4-2 to Algeria in 2014. These flies are a madness. They're all over me this morning. I don't know why. They've never won their second group game in any of the previous 10 appearances at the World Cup, losing the last 3 in a row to Argentina, Algeria and Mexico. And Andre Ayew has scored 3 goals in his last 4 World Cup games and is now Ghana's outright second highest goal scorer in the competition after
Ghana.
Asamoah Gyan.
Oh, yeah.
Proper legend. Little prediction? Yeah, that's the dance that he did, isn't it? He wasn't doing that when he missed the penalty.
He was not doing that, no. He was not doing that.
Did he?
No.
Little prediction on that one?
Prediction, I'm going to go draw.
I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
Okay.
Don't know what that was, it just fell on me. But I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw, only because that 2 goals against African side stat, I think they could pull that one through again.
Hard workers, man.
That one's at the Al Janoub Stadium. Right, this one is really interesting, this game, I'll tell you what. Portugal versus Uruguay.
Yep, tasty.
So many stars on this pitch, and this one is at the Lusail Stadium again, which is really an iconic venue, isn't it?
Yeah.
The second FIFA World Cup meeting between the two sides, with the South Americans eliminating Portugal in the second round of the 2018 edition in Russia. So revenge is on.
I don't remember that. My memory is so bad at previous tournaments. I'd have to go and look.
So many games though, isn't there?
Yeah, I never remember. Ronaldo settings, Bruno settings,
Felix settings,
I think
Leao settings.
Exactly. Uruguay got their threats, like you're saying. I feel like Ronaldo, he's at that stage where he goes massive periods in the game without affecting it, being part of the build-up play, doing anything, but can score a pen, can score a free kick, can be on the end of a tap-in or a great header or a finish or out the blue, because he's still Ronaldo. So, and he's up against another player like, whether it's Suarez or Cavani, who are capable of doing the same thing, and then obviously Darwin Núñez is more active and involved.
He's the legs, isn't he?
He's the legs. And Bruno, look, 2 assists against Ghana. He was brilliant. Picking up where he's going to look to pick up where he left off. Who do I? Man, that's a tough game. I'm going to say Portugal nick it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 Portugal.
Okay, tight one.
Yeah.
You mentioned Bruno. He created more chances than any other Portugal player in their victory over Ghana last time out.
Better than KDB. Look at KDB now. Look at KDB now.
Are you really saying this?
I am saying this.
Are you really saying Bruno's better than KDB?
What I'm saying is this, is that surrounded by the greatness of the top draw players, yes, KDB sourcing out, nice. What I'm saying is Bruno is getting it done for his national team.
If they were both sources, what sources would they be?
Bruno would be like a light and Kona hot pepper sauce. Yeah.
Right.
and
Love it.
and Kevin De Bruyne would be like
Sriracha.
Nah, because
Other sauces are available. We should mention.
100%. It'd be garlic mayo.
Garlic mayo.
Yeah.
Wow.
It'd be garlic mayo. It's quite soothing. It's quite nice, but sometimes you want a bit more of a kick.
Okay.
I need a bit more.
Do you know what? That's a beautiful description, actually.
You
I
asked
really
me,
like
I
that.
provided
Let us know in
the
the comments if you agree or disagree.
Obviously, I'm doing the bias thing because, Man United. But yeah, move. I watch KDB basically admit he's too old to do shit.
I would say a bit of a hummus.
Hummus, dead. I hate hummus as well. Guacamole. That's what he is. I hate
last
that.
night with that beef. That was beautiful.
I hate guacamole.
Not really a combination that you should go with, but it works.
But big up my guy Bruno, straight Man United bias. I don't care what anyone says.
Right, okay. Not because KDB plays for City as well, nothing to do with that.
No, it's because I watched KDB with my own eyes yesterday. Jason, you saw it. He got his pocket picked every single second he touched the ball and couldn't find a way. He's in a worse team as well. Right?
When there's no Haaland in front of him.
What do you do?
Nah,
when you ain't got Aguero,
actually.
when you ain't got Bernardo Silva next to you, Rodri covering your ass all the time. What? When you ain't got Foden's pinging it, when you ain't got all the best of the best and it's on you, can you get it done? Bruno came to a shit Man United and shone, that's all I'm saying.
Well, there you go. Source chat. Speaking of
City fans, watch them.
Speaking of strikers putting the ball in the back of the net with Haaland, Uruguay's versions of those, Cavani and Suarez, scored for Uruguay in 2010, 2014 and 2018 and could become the first players from that nation to score in 4 different editions of the tournament. Obviously, my guy Darwin Núñez looking for his first goal as well. Caused a lot of chaos in the first game, but we just need him to get a goal. And I think the confidence that he would get from actually scoring in this tournament now would be massive for him. He's in really good goal scoring form for Liverpool. Maybe the tournament came at the wrong time for him in terms of keeping that momentum up. But he does need a big goal for his big country in a big tournament.
Yeah, I think that would set him a long way, get his confidence up as well. And like I said, I know we all have banter and stuff like that, especially at club level. And also,
you can't run that banter against him.
He's a good player, man. He's a good player. Like I said, he's not polished. There's stuff he needs to improve on, but he's a good finisher. He's proven that he can score goals. It might take him, too many chances sometimes, but he's proved he's got abilities. He proves he can affect the game. And actually, just a quick one, a player we won't talk about is Facundo Pellistri.
Yes.
Can't get a game for Man United.
Brilliant,
looking like he's going to go on loan. He's been on loan last year in Spain. I think he was in, and I think he was at Alves. Can't remember. And it's crazy. He starts for Uruguay. He was in the Uruguayan fold, and it's like playing with players like Cavani and
Valverde, Bentancur,
proper
Godin
players
still playing.
And he's a little kid. He can't get a game for Man United. It's insane. So yeah, I'm gonna have my eye on that.
Well, if he's not getting a game, is it Garnacho that's maybe keeping him out of the team in terms of that young
Man
player?
United?
Yeah, in terms of that young player getting a chance.
Yeah, he's higher up the pecking order. Yeah, Garnacho for sure, and rightly so at the moment. But he also just looks a bit slight. There's been a lot of reports of him staying late, getting on the gym sessions and stuff. And United coaches have been happy with how well he's applied himself to try and bulk up a bit. But yeah, interesting to see how he does it on the world stage when he can't get in at club level.
Quick prediction before we get off.
Portugal, I think I said it, Portugal won.
You did say that. Yeah. I'm going to go with the opposite, actually. I'm going to go with the Uruguay 2-1
win. With your boys, innit? And I'm going with mine.
Got to have a bit of balance. Right, there you go. There's our predictions. Don't forget, you can also beat Lee and Abby back home in the prediction battle, the daily shootout on DR Sports, in association with Who Knows Wins. Go and beat Abby. Use and Lee as well. Go and use the QR code or the link in the description. That's been us. This has been Good Morning Qatar. We'll see you soon. Take care.
DR Sports is entering the metaverse.
Welcome to Habbo.
Come play games and chat about the latest football drama.
Meet up with friends, meet new people and have a great time.
I'll be there on special VIP days. Click the link or go to the website at habbo.com.